Hey you guys, Superstar0717. I have just a quick deck update after FNM. In the main event, like the actual round robin, I went 3-1. Top 8, won that one, or not top 8, top 4, and then lost in the final to the exact copy of Brian Kibler's, I think it was Brian Kibler, his Primeval Titan deck, literally exact same 75. And that's fine, obviously people net deck, I've net decked in the past, for testing, but it's whatever. So I did make some changes to the deck to reflect on what I noticed in the tournament and playing people on the side. So we're still running the 3 Birds of Paradise. 3 Birds of Paradise was great. It really kind of fixed the consistency a little bit for me. Having 7 4-drops, multiple 2 and 3 drops means that you can drop those 3 drops on turn 2, which is awesome, especially because some of them are just like amazing turn 2. And so it fixed a lot of problems for me. It helped me ramp, block flyers when I needed it. So it was a good card. The first change, instead of Young Wolf, I'm going to try out 4 Wolfbiten Captive. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera right there. I'm going to try out 4 Wolfbiten Captive. Wolfbiten Captive, in my opinion, is just a great card if your opponent won't be casting turn 1. And a lot of times, I noticed, decks that ran like Evolving Wilds or those lands that come into play tapped unless you control planes or whatever, turn 1, that was just like a huge opportunity to, instead of, Young Wolf to run this card, and oftentimes you'd follow up a Young Wolf with the turn 2 Mayor, you'd, instead of having the 1-1 that's unpumped, you would have at least a 2-2, maybe even flipped as a 3-3, or actually it'd just be a 2-2 still. But even then, being able to hit them for 2 instead of 1 comes into play later when you bring out your Bellowing Tanglewurm, because that's less damage that you have to deal in one turn. So this guy, I'm going to try him out, let you guys know how he does. Right now that's what I'm going to try out as the additional 1-drop. So it's 7 1-drops. Onto the 2-drops, real quick. So we're running the 4 Mayor. Mayor is obviously a good card. There was a point where I had out 3 Mayors, 2 actual Mayors, and then 1 flip Phyrexian Metamorph Mayor, and it was just ridiculous. I was able to attack, everything was getting pumped, even my wolf tokens, and then at the end step bring out 3 wolf tokens that were like 5/5, 6/6s, because I had the Immerwolf as well, and it was just like, it was ridiculous. He pretty much just had a scoop. So I'm running the 4 Mayors. I dropped Daybreak Ranger down to 3. He was good for me, but I just needed something that came out and had instant utility, or something that, could provide a benefit immediately. And so he's good. You can Zenith from him, you can drop him on turn 2, but I just needed something, that was a little bit faster, a little bit, did the job a little bit better. And so you'll see that card in a second. It's actually a spell, another spell. So I'm running 4 Immerwolves. This guy was like the MVP of the day. Your wolves don't flip, you can search them with Zenith, you can hit them with Intimidate, which oftentimes really gets in there. Like I said with the Wolfbiten Captive, every point of damage really counts, because when you're hitting them and bringing them down, like I said, there's less life that you have to deal in one turn, and so even just getting in there with 2 or 3 damage, 4 damage, because he also pumps your Wolfbiten, it's just ridiculous. It's just such an awesome play, and that really, was a difference maker a lot of the times, that extra 1 or 2 points of damage. So 4 Immerwolf. Up next, 2 Phyrexian Metamorphs. In the final, I lost game 1, but I was able to come back game 2 for a win, because of Phyrexian Metamorph copying a Primeval Titan, and then from there, he attacked, I blocked, obviously, whatever. But I was able to come back, Zenithing for Bellowing Tanglewurm when he only had an Inferno Titan up and an Inkmoth. And I was pretty much able to win that one. So 2 Phyrexian Metamorphs, put in a lot of work for me, but I wouldn't suggest running 3. Up next, probably the MVP of the day for me, 4 Huntmaster of the Fells. He's just a great card, put in a lot of work. The wolf tokens were really good. Zenithing for him when you already had another one on the board was amazing, because that would mean that if your opponent ran out of cards and they top deck a land, it usually meant they were going to lose next turn. And a lot of times decks run 24 lands, it's 1 out of every 3 draws. So it'll happen eventually. So 4 Huntmasters. 1 Thrun. Thrun put in a lot of work all day. I sideboard the additional 2, really to give me that extra oomph in combat, and with the inability to be targeted. So Thrun was pretty good all day long. and I definitely like this card. But really only as a 1 of main deck and an additional 2 more in the side deck. And then the last card, MVP of the day, Bellowing Tanglewurm. I almost want to just like, I already ordered like a foil version, a Korean foil or Japanese, something like a Chinese. But I almost want to like have someone do like some extra artwork on this. I think that'd be pretty cool. So if you're an artist and would be willing / able to do that, send me a PM. I think that'd be pretty cool. So, or 1 Bellowing Tanglewurm, 3 Galvanic Blast. I was able to deal. I played a humans matchup, and he dropped a Moon Crusader, and I immediately just nuked it with a Galvanic Blast. I think that was like the best feeling. It happened twice, and it was awesome. You know, just I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just so awesome. That's like the main concern of this deck. That's one of the reasons why these cards are put in there. And when you answer a card like that, almost immediately with the card that you put in for that, it just feels really good. So, 3 Galvanic Blast. Now, I dropped a Daybreak Ranger for the 3rd Moonmist. There was a lot of flashback going on, so even if I, before the tournament started, I was playing around, and I was like, I can't reliably pass my turn to flip, and expect it to flip, because, they'll just Galvanic Blast me for, or not Galvanic Blast, what is it? Gut Shot me for 1, things like that, just to prevent them from flipping. And so I never really was able to consistently flip when I wanted to. Obviously, when they ran out of gas, I would flip and beat face, but I needed an extra way to manage that. And it also flips my Wolfbiten Captive, as well as providing protection for my wolf tokens, which is just really good. So 3 of these, like, I finally got my foils in. And yeah, if you see any cards in this deck that aren't foil, let me know. I'm looking for foils and things like that. Up next, I'm running the 4 Zenith. This card was just like money all day long. It was never dead. Early on you can search for birds or a Wolfbiten Captive or a Mayor. And as a finisher, it basically gives you 5 chances in your deck to top deck something like a Bellowing Tanglewurm. And usually by then you'll have the mana to pay for it, 6 mana. And this card was just awesome. Just so awesome all day long. For the lands, I am running 9 forests. Yeah, 9 forests. I upped it up from 1, and I took out a Kessig Wolf Run. I got mana screwed game 3 against the Primeval deck, and I was really upset about it. I was really bitter about it. So I'm going to try out with the 9 forest. Still only running 4 mountain. Worked out pretty well. I mean, you're just really running it for the Galvanic Blast, maybe turn 1. You're just running it so you can, maybe drop turn 3 Immerwolf, hard cast it, things like that, and it worked out pretty well. Now we're running 4 Rootbound Crag, obviously you need the 4 Copperline, obviously you need the 4, and 3 Kessig Wolf Runs. These cards put in work all day, even at 4, I felt like I drew them a lot, and that's why I'm obviously dropping it down to 3, but this card, just for red-green tap even, just giving something trample was just awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, this card I won me quite a few games. But I feel like I just want to run that extra mountain since I am running 7 1-drops that require green. But yeah, other than that, that's the deck. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions. I appreciate all you guys' feedback. And thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.